Okay, I think I just made it go sideways. Sorry. Okay, I came across this video, and I wanna explain a little bit more in detail of what this man is talking about, Harvey Dent. Okay.
Welcome to Ohm, the Resistance Radio. I'm your host, Harvey Dent, and today, let's talk about how lawmakers should move to take guns from police amid the shooting controversy. I apologize if you think the thumbnail was clickbait. The recent controversy over the shooting of Dwayne Wright by an officer is just another example of these officers and their willingness to resort to deadly force with no threat posed whatsoever. This man was stopped for expired registration. So realize this whole interaction is under color of law. They have no jurisdiction, okay? A forced interaction because they're playing secretary.
So what he's talking about here is, as Americans, okay, we have the right to have a vehicle without it being registered, without having a license, without any of that stuff you have to go through that we think we have to go through for a car. As long as we are only using it to get to point A, point B, we do not need it officially registered, or we do not need an actual yeah, that's it. It's early, sorry. License. We don't need it. It's in the Constitution. Okay? It's in there. We don't need it. So all of this is beyond unnecessary. All of this is scare tactics. Okay? It's bullying. It's harassment. Not on that little boy's part. Okay? Not on his part. He legally, as long as I think the age is either 18 or 21. I can't remember the exact age. But as long as you're over the age to drive legally in the Constitution, you do not need any of that stuff. You don't. It's in the Constitution. Here we go.
Carries or administrative assistance for the Department of Motor Vehicles, making sure everyone's registration is current, is not what police should be doing, is it? If it is, and there are instances that result in a death of someone that's not an officer, and because the chances of someone being shot by police is a lot greater than a police officer actually being shot by someone, the best thing would be to take the guns from the police officers. I mean, seriously. They have enough crowd control devices.
Hell yeah. He's about to explain that there are rubber bullets they have. They have tasers. Honestly, they shouldn't have any of it, because maybe then they would think twice about running up on people for no reason, or snatching people out of their cars, because we have the right to bear arms as well. Now, as an American, you have the right to bear arms. They are trying their hardest to change the Constitution. Yes, the President of the United States, they are trying to change our Constitution and collapse everything, okay?
They have enough rubber bullets and guns that use rubber bullets. They have enough people. Don't they have enough people on the forces? Take this instance.
Look, so if you imagine yourself being a police officer, a good cop, right? And you're partnered with a bad cop, right? You got that hothead, the one that's just ready to trigger happy. You know what I'm saying? And he says, yo, let's go down here and let's go nab that person. Don't you think that hothead might think twice if he wasn't allowed to be carrying no weapon? Maybe just a stick and a flashlight, and possibly, I don't even want to say taser. I say no taser because I've seen them do that to old people and they had heart attacks. So maybe a rubber bullet, something, you know what I'm saying? But nothing that can kill somebody. Don't you think they would take a second thought about what they're about to do? When that little 13-year-old boy had his hands up and he shot him, do you think that officer would have been running down that dark alley if he didn't have a gun? I don't. I think they would start being more aware of their surroundings and what they could get themselves into. Because they're here to protect us, not kill us off. You know what I'm saying?
For example, look how many officers respond for an expired registration. 3 officers. What more of an argument would you need than this clip?
Expired registration. That's why he was stopped. That is not legal. It's not, because you don't need registration. You don't need a license. This is just their way of making more laws and more rules. It's in the Constitution. It's in there. It's in it. Maybe I gotta find it for you guys and post it so you understand. Oh my God.
Where the
He
officer
was probably
is hurt.
scared to freaking death. These look like people that just want to protrude harm on him. Do you know how scared this boy must have been? And that 13-year-old boy must have been? These are bullies. These are gang members. These are gang members. I, growing up in New York, know a lot of gang members. And you know what? They've never done nothing like this to me. They've never done nothing like this. Now, don't get me wrong. I did get caught in a drive-by. But I'm alive, okay, number one. And that was more of a beef. That wasn't, my set, your set. That was somebody did something to somebody else's brother, and that was retaliation. I just happened to freaking be at the store when it happened. But that was the only gang member incident that I had in my whole entire life. I see this shit every day on my news channel, and I'm so sick of it. These are children, and they don't care. How are you screaming taser? He's about to get to it. He's about to get to it right now. Do you see in that corner right there? Look right there. You see the yellow in the other officers? That's a taser. How are you screaming taser knowing damn well that handle is black, knowing damn well the weights are different, the feel is different in your hand, everything is fucking different. Everything. Everything.
Screaming taser, 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 while holding a firearm with a shot of a actual taser in her fellow officer's holster, which is yellow, if you've ever felt the difference.
Now, what I did learn after this shooting is that an officer, if you're right-handed, your gun is on your right side. If you're left-handed, your gun is on your left side. So she's obviously right-handed, right? So her gun is on her right side. You can't confuse your left and right. You was on the force for 26 years, and you still don't know your left from your right and a taser from a gun? She belongs under the jail cell. Under it, okay? Under it. Not in it, under it.
Between a firearm and a taser, you would know just how wrong this mistake is. I'm not going to...
And if she talks about, well, it was the heat of the moment. It was the heat of the moment. Well, you know what? Then you shouldn't have been in that moment. Because this is nothing to try to remove somebody from their car. That's illegal. That's illegal. Constitutional rights, babes. Constitutional rights. We all need to start reading them. Okay? Because they are not allowed to do this. But they think, oh, well, they're part of the system now, so they have to do it. As soon as you got your birth certificate, as soon as you go for your license, as soon as you got your social security card, you're part of the ward. You're a ward of the state. Okay? And this is too much. It's too much. I don't say no cops, period. But I am saying, maybe no guns. Let's see how many shootings actually happen. But you know what I still believe would happen? They would still be shooting and blaming it on the other people. The gang members and all this other stuff. They would blame it on the gang members, so they say, yes, we need to bring them back. Meanwhile, none of us are making the decisions. They are.
Go into the authenticity of the video. I'm not going to even bring up how I did not hear a gunshot at all in the video. But that has nothing at all to do with what I made this video about. This video is about taking guns from the police.
I'm sorry. I have Catalina's book right here. Hold on. Where is it? Right here. The Constitution for Babies, right? The very last page says, Yay. Oh, she thinks I'm going to read it to her. Hold on. The very last 2 pages says, the Constitution belongs to all Americans. The next page says, and it makes sure the government works for the people. Now, let me explain though. When it says for the people, that's a living person. When we have a birth certificate, that is not a live birth certificate. Okay? We are considered persons. Okay? Entities. Not alive. We're basically just dead entities that have corporation names, and that's how they make their money off of us. So there is a lot to it. And there is a whole entire terminology for it. Like, doctors have terminology, different types of people have different type of lingo, right? Well, there's different terminology for that. People and persons are not the same thing, guys.
They don't need them. We are not the threats.
Beautiful.
They are. And the fact that this all happened under the color of law with their false authority, makes it just that much more imperative. Spread the word. Take the guns from the police. They don't need them. Especially if all they are doing is making sure that the Department of Motor Vehicles receives its annual registration fees. They can ride around in meter-maid cars and do that. One thing we must remember is that this is on the news and TV for a reason. It's to stir some kind of emotion. While I fail to have that emotion that they're trying to stir, I do see an opportunity to at least start the conversation about taking the guns from the police. I mean, the police, we don't need them. So why do they even need guns? Until you find your truth, keep looking.
Okay, so now what I want to talk to you about also is, have you seen what's going on in Washington? They're flooding the tunnels. They're barricading intersections. Okay, shit is about to get real. Things going on with Russia and China banding together, and the Ukraine. Is there Ukraine? Something like that. Like Ukraine and U.S. is supposed to band together. And they're talking about war, people. Like real, actual war. Okay? And none of us are ready for that. We don't even know what that means. We have never really had true war here in the United States. It's always been elsewhere. Well, they're talking about bringing it here. Okay? And what the messed up part is we don't even agree with what they're doing. Why would they attack us? Why can't they just take out the main people that are doing this? You know what I'm saying? Like, just look, you over there. Turn left. Right there. He's right there. What? Leave us out of it, because we don't like this shit either. I don't want to fight Russia. I have Russian friends that are in Russia right now. And no, I don't want to go to war with them. I think they're awesome fucking people. They really are. And they got their shit together. And China is nobody to be messed with. I'm not trying to mess with China. Why were we cool with China last year and not this year? What's changed? Only the president. And all these bills he's trying to pass to break our Constitution. He said, oh, yes, the Constitution can change. No, the fuck it can't. Missouri is taking all they can. They're doing everything they can, and I commend them. I'm about to move to Missouri. Y'all better let's all pack up and go, because they are trying to make it where they brought a bill into the system saying that this gun law, people have the right to bear it, and it will never be able to be unchanged. You can't unchange it now. Because this is what they're trying to do. They're trying to take our constitutional rights away so that they can bring this new world order in. And if you don't believe me, look it up. There's a whole, it's kind of like the 10 Commandments, right? But the 10 Commandments for the New World Order. In the middle of freaking nowhere, these big stones, and the first thing that's written on them The first commandment is to keep the population under like 1 billion people. Excuse me, but there's about 8 billion people on this planet. Hello. This is the time we wake up, okay? My EVP's been talking about war, spiritual war, and war, and it's here. Both of them. Both of them. This is it. Let's get prepared mentally, spiritually, physically, you know? If you can prepare a bag for every little situation you could think of. I keep having dreams about flooding. I keep having in New York. It was definitely New York. New York flooding like crazy. There's no escape. It's too fast. I keep having dreams about tornadoes here. And I feel like that's how they're going to control the middle of the map, okay? With the, oh, you know, there's nothing left. You got to evacuate. Where are we going? Here, I'll take you. And next thing you know, you're in a concentration camp getting burned up in a hole. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, shit's about to get real. I don't know how soon, but I feel like it's already here. Feel like everything's already in process. You know? I love you, babes. I have a very busy day today. Hoo-wee. Tell me your thoughts and your comments, and if you have any more information to add to what I've been saying, or what the video said, throw it in the comments. I'll respond. I love you, babes.